What is the black girlfriend effect? This is
you don't know about
throw out the other culture.
Yeah, so you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend, all of a sudden he's got buzz cut, like, clean shape up.
I like that. They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed being around this black girl complaining about shit all the fucking time. That's why they gotta shave their hair.
Bro, white guys with black girlfriends,
they grow a beard because there's more cushion when they get slapped the fuck out of them.
It's the Chaplain of the Culture, Yale MDiv and Black Church Studies scholar. Here we mix faith, culture, experience, and we make that whole dance. Now, this clip went viral because UK podcasters from Sing Giggles or Sing Gigs was on the Flagrant podcast, and they were trying to explain the black girlfriend, the black woman effect. They were actually trying to paint it in a more favorable light. But as you can see, each and every time they say, oh yeah, when you get a black girlfriend, you know, the man gets a fade or a beard. And each time Andrew interjects and says, oh, I think they're just losing their hair. It's not that they get a fade, they losing their hair and they grow the beard because when they get slapped, they need a cushion. It's actually a protective instinct. I think the black girlfriend effect is a protective instinct. Now, what I will say is that James and Fahad could have did more to defend. If you really listen closely, you can hear one of them say, no, the guy has to step his D up when he's with a black girl. But Andrew talks over him. It's like he was so determined to bring the black woman's image down. He did not want to paint black women in a favorable light at all, which is very weird because I don't know what Andrew Schulz has against black women. I don't know what that was that he really had to push back against a favorable portrayal of black women, but that's something that he needs to pray on. And I just want to pause here and say, black women so fly. Black women push the culture. Black women are not even in the room. We're not even in the room and we're being talked about. We are the topic of conversation. What did Beyonce say?
You know you that bitch when you cause all this conversation.
I mean, dang, we somewhere drinking our water, sipping our tea, reading our Bible, and hear all of these men go talking about us. Oof. Ciao. But in any case, Andrew Schulz is so comfortable talking about black women to black people, fully aware that the stream can reach other black people, is because his Scottish, Irish, and German descent provides a certain type of insulation. We call that white privilege. It's defined as an inherent advantage possessed by a white person on the basis of their race in a society characterized by racial inequity and injustice. Andrew, joke about that. Since it's so goddamn on funny to you, why not joke about how your white privilege actually makes it impossible for you to relate to how the perpetuation of a lie in the form of stigma or stereotype toward your racial or gender demographic can impact you negatively, like in real life?
Ain't know nothing about that.
So because you're not impacted, that's why it's a joke to you. That's why when he responded to Fahad and James' apology video, he started out by saying this.
We just want to let you know that you're going to stay upset. Okay? What we're not going to do is sit here with our tucked between our legs apologizing on the podcast for jokes.
Basically saying that they should not be apologizing for jokes. It's just a joke. But stereotypes, stigmas, and painting people with broad strokes, making data-less generalizations is only meaningless to people who have the privilege to be unencumbered by it. But what's really sinister, right? What's really sinister is the fact that he uses what negatively impacts others for his own self-aggrandizement. Ugh. See, that's the demonic part.
Like, when I was in middle school, they had programs and special lessons in our gym and health classes about the adverse effects of drugs. There was one time in the 6th grade that they gave us these drunk glasses, and it distorted our vision. And all you seen in the classroom was a bunch of 11-year-olds bumping into the walls, bumping into each other, and falling down.
What it showed us is that when we have something on our eyes that distorts our vision, it can adversely impact people around us and ourselves. We are not moving around one another the way we would have if we were seeing clearly. We were bumping into one another. That's what racial tropes, stereotypes, and stigmas are. They are drunk glasses, distorting our vision of one another and causing some to fall. See, anti-blackness and misogyny, aka Misoynoir, basically are the ideas that anything that black is demonized and anything that is woman is vilified. That makes room for narratives, commentary, rhetoric that's steeped in these racist, sexist thought. That's how you get misogynoir, anti-blackness, and misogyny. Misogynoir. Those thoughts become words. Those words become truth. Those false truths become the way that certain people see the world. Those people become police officers, doctors, lawyers, mail carriers, human resource hiring managers, etc., etc. Sonia Massey was gunned down in her own home because that police officer saw her with his drunk glasses on. He saw her as a violent threat because she was holding a pot of boiling water. She appeared to be scared and distressed from the video I saw, but all he seen was violence and took her life. See, this is what's funny to Andrew Schulz. This is what Andrew thinks is a joke. But again, he can't relate.
They know nothing about that.
The sinister part is that Andrew Schulz is attempting to sell the drunk glasses by packaging them in the form of jokes, which are not even funny. He recently had a Netflix special that was full of anti-Asian jokes about COVID. And if you haven't heard of it, that's why. Because of the huge backlash. Like Trump, Andrew is actually super aware of riding the menstrual train. And he knows that he can get rewarded for being aligned with this type of thought because there are a lot of racist, ignorant people who have on these drunk glasses and they like it. They buy into it. They will pay for it over and over because it makes them feel more superior about themselves. There is a lot I can say about social awareness and the social responsibility that we have to one another. In other words, how we can, at the very least, not bump into your neighbor and knock them down. Is the ministry of love. Is the ministry of loving your neighbor. It's the work Jesus was doing. Something many of us need to do better with. Go ask a random non-Jewish person what is the origin and meaning of Hanukkah and see if they know. Ask a white person what happened on the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama. Ask a non-Islamic person the significance of Ramadan. You see what I'm saying? So you mean to tell me that you actually know jack about your neighbor? The events and stories that shape their religion, their culture, and their identity, but you call yourself making a joke? See, I know y'all hate books and context, but the epistemology of resistance, gender and racial oppression, epistemic injustice, and social imagination is a really good place to start with this. Jose Medina's theory of cognitive minimums and kaleidoscope lenses is top tier pragmatic thought. It's the Chaplain of Culture, here to expand ideas and grind your gears, and I will see you soon. Bye.